What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. Yes, we are still celebrating hitting 50,000 subscribers. Thank you again so much. I have a crazy UFO video to show you. You see, there is a super viral video going around of a helicopter allegedly chasing an orb at night, filmed pretty close up, and we're going to take a look at it and see what this is all about. So first, what I'm going to do is play the video. Then we're going to kind of break it down, the source, where it came from, what could it be. We'll look into all of it. So before we get started, I'd like to ask Vetters, please hit that like button. That really helps out the videos. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I put out new videos every week about the UFO phenomena. Let's go. Let's roll this clip of this UFO video. Again, an orb being chased by a helicopter.
Yo, that is a freaking orb. That's an orb being chased by a helicopter. What the hell? That is a straight up orb, dude. Being followed by a freaking helicopter. What the hell? I just now pulled up. Smells like something's burning. That is nuts.
All right, at first glance, this does seem quite interesting, right? It does seem like this orb flying around, even at every angle, it stays like an orb. And the guy's reaction is a little interesting. There are some things about the video that I'll get into here in just a moment. But before we get into all that, let's watch this video again, kind of zoomed in so you can get a better view of it, because it's filmed in the typical portrait mode, right? So it's up and we want to see it more like this. So we'll kind of zoom in at it and take another look.
Yo, that is a freaking orb. That's an orb being chased by a helicopter. What the hell? That is a straight up orb, dude. Being followed by a freaking helicopter. What the hell? I just now pulled up. Smells like something's burning. That is nuts.
All right, so now that we've had a chance to take a closer look at the video and see it in real time, the full original video and zoomed in, right? Let's break down where exactly this video started to become viral. And of course, it was on Reddit. And here's the submission statement from the Reddit user ARYELBCN. Okay. Or being followed by a helicopter. Time 7:52 local time PM, right? Location Whetstone, Arizona, USA. Date April 24th, 2025. Orb-like object in Sierra Vista skies tonight. Alex Wallace, aka Ducked Daddy, which happens to be my nickname from college, caught this video of the object at 7:52 p.m. over Whetstone, Arizona. It appears a helicopter was either escorting, observing, or chasing the object as it was crossing the skies. And then they put a couple links of the video, so the actual source where it came from, and then it was uploaded to a different page on Facebook. We'll get into more of that in just a second. All right, so we have more details about exactly where and when this was. So this was recent, just in the last couple of days, right? At night in Arizona, over the skies. It looks like a suburban area. And let's take a closer look from Duck Daddy's video, a.k.a. Alex Wallace. So originally he posted this on his Facebook, right? His personal Facebook page. But then it got uploaded to another Facebook page where it definitely gained a lot of traction. And from there, it just got spread everywhere, right? But if we take a closer look at the Facebook page, one part in particular is quite interesting. And it's this part right here. And it says a Black Hawk pilot in the comments stated, "It's the landing light. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. They are flying multi-ship, and you are seeing the landing light on the first aircraft. The second aircraft isn't required to have full lighting on. So they're saying these are two helicopters, right? Because the pilots are wearing night vision goggles, and if the pilot up front has all of their lights on, the people in the back won't be able to see if it's pulsating, so they turn off those pulsating lights, right? So only the back helicopter, if they're flying in formation, needs to have those lights on. And I checked online, and that is a thing. Now, is that what's in this video? That's what people are purporting, right? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Or is that just an orb flying just right there? So for a guy to record it in a helicopter chasing it, and there's no other details or reports or anything from anybody, does seem a little odd, right? Now, just to give us an example, I went and found another video of two helicopters flying at night in formation, and to kind of give you an idea. Now, there's probably better examples of that, but that's what I could find quick enough to get into this video. So there are a few things about the video that are kind of interesting to me, and not just the video, but the sound. When you listen to the original video, it sounds echoey, like it's doubled. I do a lot of editing, and let's say you're trying to connect video with audio. You know how they use those old slap boards, right, to do it, or people would clap, right? Because you're trying to sync audio and video. Well, it sounds like there's two audios that they tried to overlay that don't match up, and that's why it's just a little echoey or weird, right? That's because it's just off. Right? It's the same audio, but it's just off. So it almost seems like it's doubled or something. I don't know. Just something is definitely off about the audio and being echoey. I don't think that's from just normal recording of your phone. Pull out your phone and record a video. You'll see it. You don't hear that, right? So it's almost like some editing was done to the video before it was uploaded, because I looked at the original video too from Alex Wallace, and it was just like that. So it's not like it got changed afterwards, right? So the original video that he uploaded had that same sort of sound. Here's a short clip to kind of, to explain what I'm talking about. Like, listen for it. It just sounds echoey. It sounds off.
That is a straight up orb, dude.
You see how it sounds like echoey, like doubled essentially, but just off, right? So I don't know. That's very unusual to me. That I've only heard that kind of thing in post-production when you edit something. I've never heard it in raw, form before like that. So I don't know what's going on there. I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm just saying that just seems odd. Just pointing that out, right? And it kind of sounds like you do hear a couple helicopters at the beginning. But, I don't know. At the end of the day, I'm not an expert. These are just my thoughts. At the end of the day, you should decide for yourself. And, again, I'll put links in the description. You can go check it out for yourself. Now, one last thing before we go. I did find this part also interesting when watching the video. Take a look.
That is a straight up orb, dude.
And I froze it on the frame that I wanted you to see here. I mean, look, they look identical. The shapes of the lights are identical. The lights look identical once it reaches a certain point, right? So it makes me think it is a helicopter, or the same shape, right? The same type of lights emitting the same type of reflection, right? And the same type of interaction with the camera and the lens, everything, right? There's many parts of the video like this if you just stop and look, right? So again, I'm not saying anything specifically. I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert. You let me know what you think. If there's any helicopter pilots in the comments, let us know. Were we right? Again, I looked this up online, and that is what they say. In fact, even the FAA authorizes things like that and recommends that. So, again, is that what's in the video? You're going to have to decide for yourself. All right, betters, we'll see you in the next one. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.